Okay, so I think I found a way to film on this camera but edit on my phone, which would be great because I wasn't exactly thrilled with the way the quality of the last video in terms of the actual like video, because it looked a little bit better on my phone than it did on YouTube, but I'd rather not put in the effort unless I'm going to be proud of the video, and I can't exactly say that I'm proud of that video. But we are going to continue on with the shit that I was doing before, which is basically just showing off the entirety of this record collection from A to Z, and just leaving out the shit I haven't shown in more detail, because this stuff is normally a little bit more forgiving in terms of the information I'll leave out. So that's what we're gonna do. And I don't know if you guys remember, actually this shit I have to start with is right here. In the very last time, the last time I made one of these videos, I said I had accidentally left a record out. I don't exactly know how that happened, but it did. And by the way, in the background, listening to this came out on Dark Adversary last year. This band is called XIII, I think, and it's not gonna fucking focus. It's like sort of depressive black metal, but it's got like a bit of a twisted story behind it, which it kind of mentions on it. But it's really good stuff on Dark Adversary if you're interested. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. This is the one that I forgot to show last time. This is Conqueror, the split with Black Witchery. It's called Hellstorm of Evil Vengeance. I don't really, like I said, I don't know why I left this one out last time. It was an accident though. I meant to show it. Yeah, this is a split that came out in 1999 or 2000. It was one of the two. But this is a 2010 repress on Nuclear War Now. This is white vinyl, which you can see. It's on the actual player right now. I was listening to it earlier. Just 100 copies on white vinyl. It's kind of a cool story behind this, because this actually came from Tragenda's personal record collection after he was killed in some accident like 2016, I think. But being that it came from like his collection, there's a lot of shit in here that I imagine didn't come with the original release, like all of these like little posters. They're like flyers, I guess, but there's a bunch of them in here, and they're all the same. Which is quite weird. I've kind of thought before of like doing something with them, but I can't think of anything to do. Big Black Witchery sticker. Here's the actual inner sheet that comes with this. Conqueror on that side, Black Witchery here. This does come with a poster that was not part of the original release, like a Black Witchery poster, which is cool. And this comes with a big poster as well that did come with the original release. And it's a picture of the actual album cover with the band logos up top. This one was in a frame forever. I just recently took it out to replace it with something else. But yeah, man, this is a great one. This is my favorite Black Witchery stuff is on here. Conqueror sounds a little bit less like Revenge on this material, but it's really, really cool stuff, man. Album cover is cool. I like it. You guys know what it is, though. Conqueror split with Black Witchery, Hellstorm of Evil Vengeance. Okay, all right. Y'all gonna be mad. One of the things I knew I was gonna have to do at some point was run through a big collection of Cradle of Filth stuff. And I know not everybody's thrilled on Cradle of Filth. So I am gonna make it quick, but I do have all of the Cradle of Filth records except for one. All of the albums except for one. And that is of course on top of other random odds and ends that I have from Cradle of Filth. But let's just blow through it. First thing I have here, this is Dark Unclean Pleasures. This is a bootleg that I got for Christmas back in like 2014 or something. It includes the Orgiastic Pleasures Foul 1991 demo. It includes the Invoking the Unclean 1991 demo. Total Fucking Darkness 1993 demo is on here. This is fucking awesome. This is back when Cradle of Filth was a death metal band, and you can kind of tell by the logo. It's really, really fucking good material. Some of my favorite Cradle of Filth material, to be honest with you, relative to a lot of the bullshit that this band has done. This stuff is fucking awesome. But this is a double LP, black vinyl, so I'm not going to take any of it out. But it's really good stuff. Then I also have this. This is Total Fucking Darkness. This came out in 2014. This is basically like some remastered versions of some demo songs. Not all of them that are on here on that Dark Unclean Pleasures bootleg. These are remastered versions, and some songs are on here twice. Like the Black Goddess Rises is on here twice. Unbrittled at Dusk is on here twice. Yeah, I don't know. Gorgeous fucking album cover. Front back, the gatefold is really nice. I like this style of art an awful lot. This comes with a printed inner sheet here with just a collage of band pictures. This is a double LP, and both of the records are on this really nice blue vinyl. This is, from what I understand, the retail version. So I guess the version that record stores were getting was this version. But I love it, man. It sounds really, really good. The remaster sounds great. This is just back when Cradle of Filth really had some fucking claws on it. Alright, 1994 comes Cradle of Filth's very first full-length album, Principle of Evil Made Flesh. This shit, man, was so different from all the other shit coming out in 1994. Of course, we know, like, the Enslaved debut album. I think that came out in 94. That was kind of pushing the limits a very similar way as this Cradle of Filth album. But this album is just a lot more popular. It's really, really hard to argue for me that Cradle of Filth is anything but a black metal band back in 94 for sure. This song, this title track, The Principle of Evil Made Flesh, is fucking awesome. Really, really cool beat to it. It's fast, it's nasty. Danny Phil's vocals are so much more unique than 99% of black metal vocals, and back in 94, that was a good thing. Really fucking silly band picture on the back though. This is a 2011 Back on Black press of this one, which, you know, as much as I don't like Back on Black, honestly, in terms of like shit like this, it's good for it. I had this record before they had done all those represses that they have now. With like the splatters and shit. This is just blue vinyl again, double LP. Alright, 1996, we get the very first Cradle of Filth EP. This is Vampire. This is really fucking cool. There's a re-recorded version of The Forest Whispers My Name on this one, which is one of my favorite songs from the debut album. It's really good stuff, man. Again, this is a 2011 Back on Black press. The album cover is absolutely hideous. That's the back. The fucking picture of this band is absolutely fucking hideous. I'm there again on the inside. I don't know what it is about Danny Phil, but he loves doing like... This one's got a really weird color vinyl. It's like, I think they call it flesh toned or something like that. But like I said, 2011, Back on Black press. Alright, now these next two are seriously hard to fucking beat. From 1996, we have Dusk in Her Embrace. This isn't my favorite Cradle of Filth record, but it is probably the one that's right behind my favorite Cradle of Filth record. This one right here is the one that sort of got me into the band. The song Gothic Romance, Red Roses for the Devil's Whore, is seriously like one of the coolest fucking black metal songs ever. And now of course it is Cradle of Filth, so it is very, you know, symphonic and very, I guess, almost gothic sounding. Lots of different vocal styles, most of them weird. Instrumentally, it's very fast, and there are parts where it does slow down, gets very creepy. Like I said, lots of symphonic moments and shit like that. Kind of a big no-no for black metal back in the 90s. But Cradle of Filth is one of the bands that did it right up there along with like Abigor, for example. But this shit's really fucking cool. I love the back. Limited to 2,000 copies. This is 239 out of 2,000. And these things need to be repressed bad, man. This one and Cruelty and the Beast both need to be repressed bad. There's the gatefold right there. You got Uncle Fester over here on the side. Danny Filth is baring his fangs. And then you got this naked lady here in the middle. I don't know. It's very, very Cradle of Filth, as you can see. Double LP. You got the band members on this side, you got all the lyrics. And as everybody who's not too stubborn to give Cradle of Filth a chance, man, if you've read any of the lyrics, you know they're fucking fantastic. So from what I understand, this was the first official press of this thing since like 2003. This was repressed in 2010, and there's been no presses of it since. So it's long, long overdue, man. It's been almost 10 years. And something very similar can be said for this one, which is my favorite Cradle of Filth album. This is Cruelty and the Beast. So this one was also pressed, I think in like 2003 or something like that, but this one strangely had a press in 2009 on Coke Records. This is easily my favorite Cradle of Filth album, and this is honestly one of my favorite albums ever. The song Cruelty Brought the Orchids is one of my favorite songs of all time, easily. The song Beneath the Howling Stars is another one of the good ones. That song is actually on here twice. It's on the end of side 1 and the beginning of side 2. Don't know why. The song Bathory Aria is fucking awesome. Twisted Nails of Faith, Venus in Fear, Desire and Violent Overture. It's all fucking great, man. An entire album based on Countess Bathory, obviously. Again, limited to 2,000 copies. This time I have number 19 out of 2,000. And instead of all the shit being on the printed inner sleeves, you have just a gatefold with all the lyrics. Very, very nice. Double LP, black vinyl. fucking great. Alright, this is my cutoff for Cradle of Filth in terms of records that I can actually listen to all the way through without getting a little bit nauseous. This is Midian. This one came out in 2000. And the year 2000, as far as I can think offhand right now, was pretty fucking... It was pretty barren in terms of good black metal records, and even Cradle of Filth was sort of falling off at this point, man. Some of the songs on here are real weird, but I actually really love this album. And specifically, I love it for songs like Death Magic for Adepts, Lord Abortion, Her Ghost in the Fog, obviously. This is just when the black metal stuff kind of started to take a backseat to the really, really weird, over-the-top, gothy, symphonic shit. You can just tell, just by the album cover, dude. It's very, I mean, it's a little bit questionable. Again, 2,000 copies, Peaceful Records. This is number 633 out of 2,000. This one was also repressed by Coke Records in 2009. And I don't remember what year this was pressed. It was something like 2011 or something like that. But I mean, all the imagery on here is real, real bad. For some reason, this doesn't come with lyrics. I don't know if it's supposed to or not. It seems like it should. So if anybody has the like 2010-11 press Peaceville of Midian, if yours comes with lyrics, do let me know. But really good stuff. Like I said, my favorite song on here is probably Death Magic for Adepts or Lord Abortion. But it's fucking good stuff. Alright, this is where the stinky records take over, and this is where I'm gonna kind of really start blowing through these. 2001, we got an EP called Bittersweets to Succubi. I think the only song on here I really actually like is Summer Dying Fast. The Principle of Evil Made Flesh is on here. Suicide and Other Comforts. Yeah, I don't know. This is just kind of like the gothy shit had really taken over by this point. The album cover is so bad. The back cover is bad. I mean, everything about this is just a little bit, you know, a little bit strange. And it sucks because like pretty much every Cradle of Filth record I can find at least a song that I like, but like after fucking Midian, it's not until like Hammer of the Witches where it's every song I can say is a good song. But this one was only pressed once in like 2001 or something like that. This was pressed on fuck, it doesn't say. But it wasn't repressed again. Oh, this was pressed on Abracadaver. It wasn't repressed again until like 2016 on Peaceville, so only 2 presses of that one. In 2003, we got Damnation and a Day. There's a couple songs on here I don't absolutely hate. Mainly the song Mannequin, but if you listen to the song Mannequin, you can tell that shit is going a wee bit south at this point. Cradle of Filth is no longer hitting home runs. All the lyrics on Inner Sleeves, I think the vinyl is like green. Yep, green like that. Really cool. Alright, Nymphetamine from 2004. At this point, they're putting shit out on Roadrunner Records, and I don't think Roadrunner Records has ever been known for, you know, good records. So this album is not good. I don't like this album. I think Gilded Cunt is the reason that I actually bought this album, because there was a time where I did like that song. The song Nymphetamine is awful. I mean, for the most part, like every song on this album is abysmal. Gilded Cunt included. I don't know, dude. All the lyrics, I think this is gold vinyl. I've got nothing to say about it. Alright, got Thornography from 2006. This again on Roadrunner Records. This is the first press of this one. There was only one press of this one until 2013 when it was reissued. I mean, just look at this, dude. Look at that! Honestly, there are a couple songs on this one that I like as well. Cemetery and Sundown is a good song. And The Byronic Man, as gay as that song is, with Villa Vallo from him. I actually kind of like it. This is green vinyl and yellow vinyl. Even on the Dead Wax, there is no mention of which side is which, as far as I remember. Alright, goddammit, 2008, we got Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder. This album again has a couple good songs on it, but honestly I don't even remember which songs it is that I like. I know Honey and Sulphur is not a bad song, but besides that I can't even fucking think. I don't care enough, to be honest with you. Nobody's bothered repressing this album or anything, so this is the one and only press from 2008. I mean, this is just fucking horrible. Gatefold with terrible fucking artwork. It looks like something bullshit Tool would do, and we all know that's the worst shit on the fucking planet, or at least I hope we all know that. And I know I'm fucking talking about Cradle of Filth for however many minutes now, and I'm shitting on Tool. Fuck you guys. 2011, Darkly Darkly Venus Aversa. This album literally has one good song, but for the most part I think this is probably the worst Cradle of Filth album. The song Lilith Immaculate I really like. Besides that, this album is fucking cheeks, man. No bueno. There's the inside. Danny Filth got a bad haircut in between this one and the last one. This double LP, lyrics, bullshit, whatever. Alright, this is sort of where Cradle of Filth starts to make a bit of a comeback. In 2012, we got Manticore and Other Horrors. I actually like this album. It's very different for Cradle of Filth. It's very obviously Cradle of Filth, but this album is a bit punkier than pretty much anything that we've heard from Cradle of Filth before. The second song on here, The Abhorrent, which is kind of, I guess, the first real track on this thing. The Abhorrent is a fucking great song, man. My favorite on here. You got Elicitus is a good song. Frost on Her Pillow, Huge Onyx Wings, Beyond Despair, Siding with the Titans, Succumb to This, For Your Vulgar Delectations, man. Awesome shit. I love it. Really, really bad album cover. I don't know if I showed the gatefold or not, but it's fucking just as bad as everything else. Looks like some bullshit Behemoth would do. I don't know, big booklet. You got all silly band pictures and all the lyrics and shit like that. I've had this thing forever, man. I haven't spun it too many times, mainly because like this album I like to listen to in the car. Double LP, black vinyl, whatever. Then we got a good one, man. This is where Cradle of Filth really made a comeback to like the black metal sound. This is Hammer of the Witches. Really, really fucking cool. I love the album cover. The like ultra realistic style of painting is really nice. Band picture is gay as ever. You have a double LP. Lots of art on this thing, and all of the art is really, really fucking cool. Very like misogynistic and evil, but I love it, man. Really fucking nice picture discs. They sound pretty good too, considering they're on Nuclear Blast. Not too bad. Here's the other one right here. Really, really heavy vinyl. Oh shit, very, very nice, man. Super nice quality. I'm impressed with this one, and this album is fucking fantastic. Like I said, the song on here, Yours Immortally, the way that song starts, literally, and I've said it before, it literally sounds like the way a Sargeist song would start. It's so fucking good. Blackest Magic in Practice, Hammer of the Witches, Vampire at My Side, Onward Christian Soldiers, Blooding the Hounds of Hell. It's awesome, man. I really love this album. If anybody has kind of given up on Cradle of Filth and didn't bother listening to Hammer of the Witches or Cryptoriana, which I don't have, seriously, if you like the early stuff, listen to this. It's so fucking good. That's Hammer of the Witches. Awesome. Alright, let's get out of Cradle of Filth territory. I'm so sorry we had to do that, everybody, but I promised I'd show everything, so whatever. Alright, next up, I'll try and make up for that shitty Cradle of Filth nonsense. This is Craft with Total Soul Rape. So this album came out on Seldsmord Services? I don't know. This album's from 2000, and the first press of this thing wasn't until 2002 on Seldsmord, and it was remastered for some reason. I guess just remastered for vinyl. And strangely, this thing wasn't actually repressed until last year. Considering the demand, that's fucking stupid, man. This thing should be in constant press, because I think everybody likes the early Craft stuff. I mean, this is basically like second wave black metal to a fucking T, man. Craft basically took a style of music that was sort of just barren in the year 2000 and made something super fucking cool out of it. This is the first press. It is pretty beat up, all things considered. I got it for pretty cheap, so I'm not too worried about it. There's the back cover right there. This comes with just black vinyl with nothing interesting on the labels, and a poster, which I have had in and out of frames, but I don't know how much I actually like it. It's just a picture of like a big mushroom cloud, and it says, "I want to believe in the destruction of all organic life forms." I agree. Great fucking album cover, great fucking music. I don't think there's any of us who are unfamiliar with early Craft stuff, so there's not too much reason for me to go into the music, but I also have the first press of Terror Propaganda, and this is my favorite Craft right here. I love this album. I love the album cover. The back is really cool, even though this guy is on the back, and what the fuck kind of face is that? Black vinyl. It does come with a poster that is right there. If you have the repress, it's the same fucking poster, so I'm not gonna go get it down or anything. You don't need to know what it looks like. But this one was also put out on Seldsmord in terms of the album, but the actual vinyl press of this was put out on AIDS Productions, which I think is kind of funny for the name of a production company. I don't know. Okay, alright, so it's been a couple hours since the last cut. Basically, my camera just fucking died, so I just put the camera on the charger and spent some time editing, so everything that you saw before this cut is already done. So now I'm back. I've got my motherfucking Dalmatian socks on, and I'm ready to fucking rock and roll. Let's just keep going. Moving on in Craft's career, we have the third album, Fuck the Universe. So I was lucky to get this for literally free. My buddy Josh had sent it over years ago at this point. Man, it's crazy. He sent it with a bunch of other stuff, but this was at the very bottom. This was the highlight for me, man, because I had wanted this record pretty badly, and I got it from him. This is one of the better Craft records as well. It's right up there with the first two, but this album's a bit different. It's a lot riffier, which is why I like it. Unfortunately, like, they took a pretty weird route with the album cover, because I'm not a fan of that at all. There's the back cover right there with all the lyrics on the back. This is a Southern Lord mail order edition of this one. And I think this album came out in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a couple versions of this. There was like a picture disc with a black vinyl. This is the picture disc with red vinyl as the second LP. Unless this is the first LP, I don't exactly remember. But either way, you could get red or black. And I got red, and the picture disc itself is fucking awesome. I really like that side, but this right here is just fucking absolutely incredible. I love that picture. Badass. So it's weird because like I remember seeing that like Blutenizen Productions had been putting out like versions of this at the same time. So I don't really know the reasoning behind that or anything. But this is a great album. I'm sure everybody knows Fuck the Universe. I see this a lot of times mentioned as the best Craft album. I don't know that I necessarily agree it's the best. I like Terror Propaganda the most, but this is a fantastic album. You guys all know it. Fuck the Universe. So of Craft's 5 albums, the fourth one is my least favorite, and that's this one. This is Void. This album came out in like 2011, I think it was. And again, this is a Southern Lord version. I don't remember exactly if it was like a mail order version or a pre-order specific, because Southern Lord does that shit too. But yeah, this one's got really nice packaging, very sturdy jacket, all the lyrics and shit on the inside. You got pictures of the band members. These lyrics are really, really bad. There's a specific lyric here that I remember being really like especially bad. And I would love to find it, and in fact I'm going to. Yeah. I want to commit murder. My mind screams to me like a black metal record in dissonant accord. This is double LP, and the version is actually really fucking nice. It's this clear with black and white splatter. I guess it's probably just black splatter. On the opposite side of this light here, looks like some of it might be white, but really, really fucking nice, man. I love that. I don't know. Overall, I think this is just like a less memorable record, but it's not bad nonetheless. I like it a lot more now that I have the record, because before I didn't like it at all, and I saw it pop up for pretty cheap, and somebody had just recently told me that it was good, like recently before I bought it. So I just grabbed it, and I actually ended up liking it more than I thought I would, but still my least favorite. And finally for Craft, we have the record that came out last year. This is White Noise and Black Metal. This one came out, what was that, I guess, yeah, 7 years after Void. And Craft is like a band that doesn't really fuck around with EPs or anything. There was like one demo that came out before Terror Propaganda, or a Total Soul Rape, I mean. And besides that, it's all been full-length albums. This is a Season of Mist exclusive. I talked about this record in one of the more recent videos that I've made. I guess that was a long time ago though. 200 copies of this one on this like marble gray vinyl. It does come with a lyric sheet. My favorite song on this thing is the song Again, which I think is the second song. Yeah, the second one. I'm not really sure why I love that song so much specifically, but it's like far and away my favorite on this record. It's really, really good stuff. But whatever, I mean, it's not like they're heading in a direction that we can all assume is going to be a lot better than what they've done in the past, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, Craft is a good band, like just across the board, only good records, so I'm into it. Alright, here's a one-off. This is Cribane with Night of Stormcrow. I actually have a couple of these, because I have one right there that's signed in blood by Callaghan the Black, the one and only guy from Cribane. Which, by the way, I've heard that, I've been told that the way I say Cribane is wrong. I don't know how the fuck else to say it. But apparently it's a reference to something, and it's probably a reference to something I don't give a fuck about. So this is the first demo of Creebane from 2003. I did a whole video on Creebane a while back. You know, I was sort of in touch with Steve from Creebane, and he sent me a bunch of stuff, so I made a whole video about it. You can find it if you want to. But this is a fantastic fucking demo. Like, musically and vocally, I would compare it a lot to some of the early Leviathan stuff. Sort of that, those vocals with that effect that almost sounds like it's like through a walkie-talkie or something like that. That's kind of what's going on here. It's like, it's sort of fast, aggressive black metal. It's really, really fucking good stuff. I'm not gonna pull out that one because it is the same version and everything. It's just signed. This does come with like a little fold-out lyric sheet. But yeah, it's cool that they included the lyrics. And there was 250 copies on black vinyl, and then 250 copies on this really fucking nice marbled green vinyl. Super cool, man. This thing, you can probably get this for super fucking cheap. So if there's any of you who have never listened to Creebane for any reason, I would recommend it, man. This shit is absolutely fantastic. Alright, here's another one-off, some classic black metal from the United States. This is Crimson Moon with To Embrace the Vampiric Blood. So this was put out first time on vinyl through Go to Warex back in 2016, I think it was. 200 copies, all on red vinyl. I'll show you all of it. This is fucking awesome. This is like almost a staple of like early US black metal. I mean, this came out in 1997, which for the United States is pretty early. Of course, there was earlier stuff like Vaughn and Judas Iscariot and whatever else. And this is also very reminiscent of something like Judas Iscariot in terms of the vocals. They're very loud regged vocals. Musically, it's different because this is a lot more like almost vampiric sounding, sort of creepier with like keys and shit like that. But I'll show you. It's got this like Obi strip on it. So you can't really see the album cover all that good. There's the back there. You got some silly pictures of the guys in the band. Like I said, it is just red vinyl, and the labels look like that. So, you know, no reason for me to pull it out. And this also includes a little poster with all of the lyrics and shit on the back. So that's what the album cover actually looks like. And then there's the back right there, so you get it. Really, really fucking cool. It's strange to me that this album's not more popular considering how good it is and like sort of the period of time in which it was released. So it is cool. This band's still around too. They put out a record not that long ago, a few years back or something. That was actually really good too. So they're still around, and they're still good. Crimson Moon, To Embrace the Vampiric Blood, check it out. Alright, moving on. This is a record I've had for like 6 fucking years, man. This is the first Crucified Mortals LP. This one came out in 2011. The man behind Crucified Mortals goes by Reaper. His name's Craig. He does all the stuff for Reaper Metal Productions, Hellcast. He does like Heavy Metal Relics and stuff like that. So he's got his own label on top of everything else. If you've never heard of it, it's kind of like a sort of deathy approach to like thrash metal. And thrash metal is not my thing, but I've actually always really liked Crucified Mortal stuff that I've heard. I love the sort of like horror themed lyrics that Crucified Mortal pretty much only uses. It's sort of fast aggressive thrash metal. On this record, it's cool because Zach from Filth does the guitars, which I think is pretty badass. It is just black vinyl. I'm not going to pull that out, but you also do get a poster, the album cover, and the picture, like the sort of cartoony pictures of the band, which I think is cool. I don't think I showed you the gatefold, so I'll show you real quick. Back cover too, by the way, if I didn't mention that either. I suck. There's a gatefold right there. I like it. It's pretty fucking cool. Then in 2016, we got the second and most recent Crucified Mortals record, Psalms of the Dead Choir. And actually, Reaper signed this one for me. Just said Hales Canyon. Reaper, really fucking cool. I love this album cover. It's so fucking cool. I would say this is a big step up from the self-titled album that came out in 2011. Songs like Behind the Lyric Mask is awesome. Ominous Creatures has a great fucking riff in it. Kill Upon Command is probably my favorite in here. And Bringer of Death is a really good one as well. Back cover, I love the gatefold. There's like pictures of like old Halloween costumes, and the way that just the fucking layout is badass, man. This one is on gray vinyl. There's a bit of a lineup change on this one because Zach from Filth is no longer in this band on this recording. So Ash Thomas from like Faith Extractor and the Vladimirs and Shed This Skin, he took over and he's doing like drums. So I guess as far as I know, Reaper does everything else. But this shit's fucking awesome, man. I love Crucified Mortals, and it's a goddamn shame that this stuff's not more popular. I mean, both of these records are super cheap on Discogs, so if you want them, man, I would say at least check it out. Like, Reaper's an awesome fucking guy, and I've always liked talking to him, and he's a great musician as well. Check it out, man. You won't be disappointed. Crucified Mortals. Alright, here's one that you all definitely fucking know. At least I hope so. This is a Cryptopsy with None So Vile. So this is the second Cryptopsy album, but I would say this is probably the most popular for sure. At least the one I hear the most about, or I've always heard the most about. This album came out in 1996. The first album was called Blasphemy Made Flesh, but both of these albums are basically, like, these are the Lord Worm albums. I don't have Blasphemy Made Flesh, but Lord Worm did vocals on that one and this one, and that's what a lot of people credit this band for, is just really, really good vocals. But it is more than that. Like, this is basically like really early, like, brutal death metal, kind of. You know, it's nothing like the brutal death metal that exists now. But vocally, like, the really deep gutturals are fucking awesome. The shrieky highs are fucking awesome. Musically, like, in terms of like the guitar, it's technical, but it's not like wankery technical. It's just a really impressive, solid fucking release, and I mean, there's a reason this is a super popular death metal album. Anyway, this is a 2014 Hammerheart reissue. They did it on a bunch of different colors. I just have the black one. But yeah, there's all the lyrics on the inside, and you got the pictures of the band members. I don't remember what the limitation was, but I mean, when I had actually went to buy this, the only option was black or a picture disc. So I just went with the black. But you guys all fucking know this album. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Cryptopsy, None So Vile. Alright, second to last band we're going to talk about today. This is Cult de Ghoul with Hexen. This is the debut Cult de Ghoul album from 2008, and honestly, man, this could be considered like one of my favorite albums ever. Because this album really sort of introduced a new layer of black metal for me. Like, before this, the black metal stuff was raw and cold and fast. This was the album that, for me, really, really showed me that it can be slow and it can sound pure fucking evil. I mean, like, the sort of the vocal range on this thing is absolutely insane. It ranges from fast to really slow, and when it gets slow, it sounds creepy as fuck. The vocals, again, are all over the goddamn place, but they are always fucking fantastic. So this was originally released on Of Crawling Shadows, and then in 2014 it was repressed, and this is the repressed version. I think they're identical though, and when I looked it up before this to see if I could find out for sure that the 14 press was the one that I had. I found out that it is, and it's limited to 957 copies, which is really, really strange. But the gatefold is super fucking cool. It's like matte. It's a really nice like texture. It comes with this little postcard here, which is quite cool. Double LP black vinyl, but it also includes this booklet here, which has like artwork and all the lyrics and stuff. This one could definitely fucking use a repress, by the way, because 2014 is the last time this was pressed, and like, I mean, I know I can name a handful of people right now who want to get their hands on one of these. So I don't know what the holdup is. I don't know if the original label is being a pain in the ass about it, but either way, somebody's got to do it. Every song on this thing is absolutely fucking scary as shit. Baptized by Baron, Strigoica Dance, I don't know if that's how you say that one, Skullomance, The Impure Wedding. It's very ritually sounding, which I am absolutely in love with shit like that. The part in this album where it sort of stops and it's like the echo of like a crying baby. It almost sounds like it's in a cave or something like that. It's really fucking cool, man. Very creepy stuff. All right, then in 2011, we got an EP called Spectres Over Transylvania. So this EP is literally just one long song. It's 25 minutes long. And it was mastered by Magua, apparently. There were different versions of this as well. I don't remember all of them. I mainly remember that there was black and like an ox blood red. And I have the red one. So I love the fucking castle on the label. It's really, really cool. The B-side sounds fucking terrible though. I don't know what the problem is. On the inner sheet, you get a really fucking cool image on that side. And you get all the lyrics. This song on here is fucking great. I mean, just like any Cult Ghoul material, there's fast and there's slow, and the vocals are all over the goddamn place. And, you know, being condensed into just one song doesn't take away from any of that. All the styles are still there. Every speed is still there. Every different type of groan and croaky throat scream there is, it's all there. And it's really fucking cool, man. You guys know Cult Ghoul. I'm just kind of gushing about it. It comes with a big poster, which you can't do anything with because it's a fucking square. Here's the other fucking Cult Ghoul record that deserves no end of praise. This is Henbane. I think this album came out in 2012, maybe. I think this is the third press of this one, and I didn't have to look that up. I just feel like I remember that from when I bought it. I like the imagery a lot. I like that it's dark. I like the color scheme. I like all the images on the inside with the fucking lyrics and everything. There's the back cover right there, really fucking cool. And this is a double LP as well, and this is one of the prettiest fucking records in my whole collection. It's basically just like swamp green with black and yellow or white splatter. I don't know, man, it's fucking awesome. In terms of the music on this one, I would say it's not quite as like cavernous and scary sounding as XIII is, but it's definitely got its own quality of like ritualistic and witchy. I mean, the song Vintage Black Magic on this thing, I mean, just the laughs like halfway through that song are fucking awesome. I love the super long songs because they change enough that it doesn't get repetitive or boring. So Vintage Black Magic is probably my favorite on here, but The Passion of a Sorceress is my other favorite. It's fucking awesome, man. If any of you out there have not heard this album, this is probably the one that would get you into Cult Ghoul. I don't know how else to sell this. This is literally sonic witchcraft. So one of the best albums to come out in the last like 10 years, man. I absolutely love this thing. All right, the last Cult Ghoul record that I'm going to talk about, I do have the most recent one, Sinister, but I'd rather talk about that in an update where I can get more in depth. But for now, we'll end it with this. This is Coven. So you can tell right off the bat that this is like a totally different direction. It looks very similar to basically what the theme is. It looks like the cover of like a play or something like that. This is literally like written to be structured like a play. In the booklet, it's basically separated into acts. It's really a cool idea. There's the back right there. Unfortunately, I am not a big fan of this album. I do, however, love the very first song, the very first actual song, Dwell the Devil, He Is, I Swear God. It comes with this this booklet here. I love that. That image is really fucking cool. But you can see here, it's literally a scene, there's like, it's separated into scenes. There's scene 1, a local tavern, scene 2, St. Nicholas Church, night. So you get it. It's basically separated, like structured like a play. And I don't remember the story offhand or anything like that. I remember it being interesting, but I'd rather not pretend like, you know, I know and sort of start talking, because all that ever does is make me look fucking stupid. It's a triple LP. When I ordered this, there was every version available, and I opted for the Swamp Green, just because I really like Swamp Green vinyl. I think it looks really nice. I don't know why. There was blue, there was, I think, yellow and red or something like that, but I wanted the green one. Yeah, man, I don't know. The reason that I don't ever listen to this album is because every song, literally every song outstays its welcome with me. Like, there are parts on this album that, like, a riff, like a drony riff will go on for like 5 fucking minutes. And, you know, I don't care how good the riff is, after 5 minutes, but that's pretty much all that's happening, it starts to get a little bit grating. And as good as Cult Ghoul is, they are no exception to that rule. So, you know, there are some really fucking cool parts on this album, but this is basically a different band from those first 3 records that I talked about. But a lot of people really love this album, and I don't blame them. It's a good record. So, Cult Ghoul with Coven. Alright, I got one more to talk about, and then I'll wrap this shit up. This is Cult of Fire with Triumvirate. So Cult of Fire is from Prague, and this is the first Cult of Fire record. I think there's only been 2 full-length albums, but this is the first of them, and I think this came out in 2012. Initially, this record was self-released by the band, which Cult of Fire still self-releases some shit. But this is the second press of this one on Iron Bonehead. And one of the things I've always loved about this is the way it feels. I don't really know how to describe it, but all I know is I run my fingers across it and my pussy gets wet, boy. Black vinyl, nothing to show there. I think this was 500 copies or something like that. This does come with a poster. It's a black and white version of the album cover. And I've had this poster framed before, but I don't know, man. That goofy motherfucker's face in the middle there. Like, if his face were blacked out like the other two guys, maybe it'd still be in a frame. Anyway, like, musically, it's kind of got like, you know, haunting elements to it. I like some of the keyboard work on this one's really cool. The guitar work is really cool. The vocals are good, but they're not really anything to write home about. It's basically your standard black metal rich. Maybe a little bit more throaty, but it's good stuff anyway. I don't know if I showed the gatefold, but it's just a big fucking skull. Yeah, I want to get the second Cult of Fire record. I don't know why I haven't. But some of the other shit that Cult of Fire has done is really fucking good too, and I just don't own any of it. For some reason, this is the only one I got. But this is a good record, and I'll hunt the other shit down eventually. So if you've not heard Cult of Fire, really, I can just recommend starting with this. But everything that I've heard, and I've not heard all of it, but everything I have heard is good, so. That's it, y'all. That's another one in the fucking books. Let me see where I'll start next time. I actually finished out the C's in this one, so next time we're gonna start in the D's, and that'll be blocks of just a few bands, it looks like, from what I can see offhand, but I'll try and burn through enough where, you know, keeps it diverse. So yeah, guys, thanks for sticking around, and I'll try and be back as soon as possible. Next time I'm gonna do just another update so I can keep it sort of alternating how I used to. I don't know when I'll be back. Hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later, but I guess we'll see. Thanks for sticking around, fags. Later.